All right, welcome back to the push lap. Uh, if you're watching on YouTube, got a lot of new things different. If you're listening, new intro. What'd you think about it?
Pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Gotta like hearing those V10s roar.
I know it won't be V10s, but we'll have the V8s back for too long, so maybe we'll have
Yep.
to add that in. But yeah, we've updated some things. Go check it out on YouTube. But we've got a pretty fun episode headed towards you with some news and more than that, some predictions. All right, so second half of the season is going to be coming up in about 2 weeks. Coming back to the Dutch GP last year, won by McLaren with Oscar Piastri. Had that what we thought at the time fatal DNF, but
Yep.
it's kind of crazy how it played out. But three predictions each, maybe some hot takes, maybe some engagement bait a little bit.
Maybe.
But Ryan, I'll let you start it off. Ryan knows what my predictions are, but I don't know his,
Okay.
just so we didn't get mixed up. So drop your first one on me.
All right, we're gonna start off with the calmest of the three. Hockenheim gets added to the schedule next year.
Okay, so for next year, what do you think it'll replace?
I think it'll be announced this year, so that's why I
Okay,
say second half technically,
yeah,
and possibly could be added to the end of this year. Who
yeah,
knows?
very true. Could take over Qatar or maybe even Abu Dhabi. I wouldn't really
Yeah,
hate it to be honest.
yeah. Both of those tracks are kind of garbage. Obviously, there's a lot going on over there right now. Uh, just leave it at that. And they need somewhere to race, and I think Hockenheim's great. Fun track, got a lot of history, a lot more fun and exciting than Qatar or Abu Dhabi. So
Yeah, I agree. Also, it'd be really cool to see Audi there. You know, German team.
yeah,
Obviously, we have Mercedes, but new German
yeah,
team on the track. Maybe score some points there would be really cool. The tops
yeah,
now card would be pretty sick.
yeah,
So yeah, I think I can see that. I think they're in a little bit of a pickle right now. Possibly
yeah,
looking at four tracks next year, going to be taken off the list. Malaysia we might run it at the end of this year and then again at the beginning of next year. So
yeah,
they may throw Hockenheim in there to change it up. My only
yeah,
experience with Hockenheim is AR12. They used to do like drift competitions around Hockenheim.
yeah,
Whenever I was in middle school, I used to watch those videos. So it'd be nice to see a new track and a lot of heritage there. So that would be
yeah.
pretty neat. All right, my first prediction. Also, I'm gonna start off with the most mild on my list here. Uh, I think George closes the gap. Right, that's the most mild. I don't think he wins. I don't think he comes close. But I think we see a revitalized George Russell in the second half of the season. I think he gets some of those points back. I think that he maybe finds a little bit of a groove. But I don't think he's gonna push for the title. But I can see him coming back. But what do you think about that?
Um, Obviously, I'm a big hater. Ripping the gear today. Um, I mean, I think we could see a little bit of a push. I still think he ends up third in the well, I'm gonna retract that because I got something pretty
Something
juicy
cooking. Something
coming
cooking.
next. Um, I could see a little bit of a push, but ultimately, I think there's a couple, maybe two or three drivers
Okay.
that'll end up ahead of him. Uh, could spoil a little bit about my predictions.
Yeah. Obviously, we've talked a lot about George Russell this year, both on the podcast and outside the podcast. We're going to talk about him a little bit later as well. But at the end of the day, he's an F1 driver. As much as I'm not a personal fan of the guy, I do think that he could really claw back some points, similar to what we saw last year with Lando and Max. I don't think that it's going to be the same, but um, I think with Kimmy possibly taking a grid penalty at Monza or Zandvoort or wherever he ends up taking that engine, we could see some big points. But not just from him. I think in this prediction of mine, I think the gap closes to Kimmy just in general. I think Lewis closes. Um, I think that if he takes it at Zandvoort, which I don't really see them doing, he takes a new engine at
Mhm.
Zandvoort, takes a penalty. I think Ferrari makes up a lot of ground and Hamilton eighth could be incoming, which would be the single biggest accomplishment in F1 history.
Yep. Uh, if he's not already the goat, That would definitely solidify it.
Yeah,
And
it would fully silence it.
yeah, that engine penalty has to come at some point. Uh, I think everybody knows that by now. That'll close the gap down pretty much immediately, no
Yeah.
matter what, really.
If you're
Unless
Mercedes, where are you taking the engine penalty at?
I'm taking it at Monza.
Yeah.
Um, I know it would suck to take like an engine penalty at your home race if I was Kimmy, but it's like probably the fastest track on the schedule. They've already shown everybody they clearly have the faster car, so
Yeah.
I think he could easily make some spots back.
Do you think that if they take a 20 place grid penalty, there's any way to come back to win at Monza, or do you think it would just be damage limitation?
I think it'd be damage limitation.
Yeah.
If he wins at Monza after taking a 20 place grid penalty, go ahead and write him off for the championship.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and hand him the trophy.
Yeah.
How
Uh,
weird is it going to be that if Kimi wins a championship, he'll have the number one on his car within 2 years of the sport?
I mean, it is what it is. When you get thrown in the fastest car like ever, that kind of happens.
Yeah.
And George just kind of can't handle the pressure, I guess. Uh,
Yeah.
there's a
I
lot
can't
more
believe it.
pressure on him coming into the season, so I think it kind of got to him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my prediction. George closes the gap. I'm
Okay.
thinking, if I had to guess, I think he gets within 25 points. I think he gets within a race win, and that's about as close as it gets.
Okay.
All right, what's your
My
next one?
my prediction might say otherwise. I'm gonna hold
Okay.
off on the third one because it could be maybe the craziest. I don't know. These are kind of both pretty good. All right. Alonso finishes in the top five at a race this season.
Top five.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Where do you think that is?
I don't really know. I haven't put too much thought into it. We could see Monza,
Yeah.
actually. Um, this new engine power unit that they're big upgrade that they're bringing supposedly. Um, they said it'd be a second faster at Monza.
That's
Half
ridiculous.
a second at Zandvoort and then a second when they get to Monza.
I think
And they already
Zandvoort's.
made up. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I think Zandvoort's not a bad track either. I mean, I
Yeah,
think it fits the corner profile of that car really well. I mean, maybe top five in Zandvoort.
that would be really crazy.
Yeah.
I could see Monza a little bit because they were already about a second a lap slower than Mercedes
Mhm.
last race. And if they make up a second a lap in Monza, then what's to say? I mean, Kimmy's taking a grid penalty most likely, and like one or two unlucky DNFs, and we really could see Fernando Alonso actually finish in the top five.
It's not as it sounds crazy, but it's really not because if you think about it, also the McLarens are have used all their engines, so
Yep.
it makes sense for them to take a grid penalty there too if they have to. They're going to have to use another engine because I think the last engine that they took was what race was that Lando took his? That was about 2 races ago.
Yep.
So there's no way that they genuinely go to the end of the season. So I don't think it's crazy. I think Brazil also uh,
That's very
Brazil could be a
possible.
really good one for them to
Yeah, a lot of turns.
a lot of turns, a lot of good races from Alonso there. I think
Yeah.
uh, he knows the track really well, and other than in 2003 when he almost killed himself with Mark Webber.
Yep. That's one thing about Fernando Alonso. He may have had some of the best performances ever at all of these tracks, but I can guarantee that he's also had some of the worst.
Yeah, I 100%. You we were talking about that this morning a little bit. You bought some tickets off of or a ticket off of eBay, Hungary
Yeah.
2006. Jenson Button's first race win, and Alonso
Yep.
championship year finishes 15th. So,
Yep.
uh,
And really made the championship interesting for a little bit, not too long.
yeah,
He
yeah,
recovered well, but yeah.
yeah. The duality of Alonso is just if you watch extended highlights on YouTube, you're either gonna watch one of the greatest performances ever put on, or it's just a terrible race. I mean, just
Yep.
like
He crashes 3 times, has to pit
spins.
5 or 6 different times. Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah, two-time world champion, by the way.
Yep, that's true.
But yeah, Alonso top five would be awesome. Why didn't you pick Stroll?
Because he's terrible. I mean, I mean, um, unless we can see Brazil in the rain,
Oh, yep, yep.
then
The
that's
s- the spirit of Prime Senate enter Lance
yeah.
Stroll and take him to a top five.
I
Yeah,
mean, I think
top.
everybody's seen the uh, Lance Stroll little like name like comparison thing.
Yep.
It's pretty famous. I mean,
Yeah, that man does have a pole position.
he does.
It's kind of ridiculous. Pretty wild. All right. My next prediction uh is, and this is no hate on the GOAT, arguably one of. I don't think Max gets a win this year, unfortunately. As much as it pains me, I just think the car just isn't there. The problem with the Red Bull car is it's like pretty good everywhere, but it doesn't have one strength. Like the Ferrari, really good in corners,
Yep.
really good when energy recovery is high. The Mercedes is kind of the opposite of that. The Red Bull just kind of fits in somewhere in the middle. It's not better than the Ferrari in the corners, and it's not better than the Mercedes in the straights. And so I don't think you're ever going to get him to win a race. I think Austria was his one chance, and unfortunately he started fifth.
That's very possible, especially with the very obviously new and improved McLaren. I mean, I think there's three cars better than theirs at this point. Um, I hate to see it, really,
Yeah,
but um, their car's just not as good as everybody else. There's not one track that really suits their car better. And Lando obviously looked really good, so I'd say there's probably five drivers that have faster cars than him now.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe Oscar if you.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think realistically, again, we brought up Brazil earlier, but Brazil is really a specialist track for him. Last year, absolute
Yeah.
masterclass. Going from the pit lane to what was it, P3? I think it was
Yep.
P3. Lando won, Kimi second, and then before that, we all know, P17 to P1.
One of the best races ever,
Yeah, one of
in
the
my opinion.
single greatest race performances. That and maybe Canada 2011
Yeah.
are, two of the greatest ever.
My goat.
Yeah, Jensen Button and Max Verstappen on the same like
Yep.
level there. But I think he could. I think he could win there. I think maybe even Zandvoort. He's normally pretty good there.
Okay.
But a lot of these tracks coming up are big power tracks. Mexico, Monza.
Yep.
Uh, you know, regardless of what we end up seeing with Qatar or Abu Dhabi, Qatar is very power sensitive. So I don't know. I don't think that he's gonna win, but I would love for him to. What do you think? Do you see him winning realistically?
Um, it's tough to say. Obviously I want him to, but I think the odds are definitely against him, which is something we have definitely never seen before.
Yeah,
Usually I'm one to never count him out in a race. Even if somebody's up by about two laps, you just never know. But
yeah,
I think his days at Red Bull are over.
yeah.
Honestly,
I think it has to be.
yep.
Yeah, I think they've lost too much staff. The engine's good, but at the same time, it's not.
Fourth best.
Yeah, it really is. And the problem with it is the engine is good, but the electrical side, that battery, that deployment
Yep.
is just it's nowhere there. Uh, they can't. They've almost killed the guy twice with their Macarena wing flipping
Yep.
upside down with the flow reattachment. I agree. I think his days at Red Bull are over. I'm not sure where I end up, where I see him end up going, but I do think it's over. I don't think he's going to win this year, which is unfortunate. I don't know when. This will be the first time since probably I don't even know, way, way, way early in his career that he hasn't won a race.
Yeah.
Um, you know, so
Way
sad to
before I
see.
started watching, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, same here. Way before 2022 was first year I watched. He dominated that year, dominated the next year, won the
Yeah.
next year. So one of the greats of the sport. But I think there's more in the sport for him than just
Yeah.
Red Bull. I think coming up with some news here in a little while. I don't think the Mercedes door is fully closed.
I don't know.
Maybe.
They'll have to find out Monday on our on our new episode.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Monday we're gonna have a lineup video where we predict the lineup. So you'll just have to see how that goes, what we think
Yeah.
about that. But it's very possible. All right. What is your last prediction?
Okay, I want you to pull up the standings real quick
Okay. All right. I'm on it.
since we're right there.
Standings.
All right.
Driver or team.
Yep, leave it right there. Okay.
Okay.
Now, Lando Norris finishes third in the drivers' championship.
Third. Finishes
Yep.
third. Okay.
Yep.
Walk me through this. Where does everybody else finish?
Okay. Bump George and Charles down one spot and replace
Okay.
Lando. That's it.
Okay. That's fair.
Yep.
So he's what? He's 10 points behind Charles and he's 32 points behind
Yep.
Russell. That's not that crazy, actually. I didn't realize how
Um,
close he was.
I think he overtakes Charles. Unfortunately, one of my favorite drivers. I mean, he won by 15 seconds in Hungary. He looked really good, as much as I
Yeah.
hate to say it. Um, 10 points, not a lot. I think he'll take that spot in the next race, maybe two. And I think if George keeps having reliability issues and whatever else is going on with his car, um, I think Lando could make a comeback and finish third.
Yeah. I agree. Big Lando fan. I think he's kind of moving different. I kind of cringed a little bit when he came over the radio and was like, let me through. I'll pull out a ten
Yeah.
second gap. I was like, oh man, that's kind of
You don't say that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Please don't say that. But I mean, he did 15
he
seconds.
did.
Uh,
Yep.
I think having that number one on the front of your car gives you a little more confidence. You don't have anything to prove anymore.
Yeah.
He's done it, and we talked about this a little bit. It's kind of like Lewis in the eighth. He's been there multiple times, right on the precipice of winning that eighth. It's just a matter of doing it, right? And
Yep.
that's how it is in so many different sports arenas. Is so many like UFC fighters even get right to the title shot. Dustin Poirier just
Yep.
never able to cross the threshold. You mentioned Rory with the Masters and the way that
Yep.
he has kind of transformed his game there. I think that Lando winning the championship is the best thing that ever happened to his career.
Yeah. I mean, for obvious reasons, being like the world champ, but also, I think he's kind of notorious for not having a lot of self confidence,
Yeah,
and I think really that season and like the way it panned out, being better than your teammate, that really helped him out a lot.
yeah,
And then obviously beating, I mean, Max Verstappen, I wouldn't say easily because it definitely
yeah,
was not. But yeah, I mean, he beat a four-time world champ. He beat his teammate and kind of proved to everybody like he is what he's been trying to tell everybody he is for a long time. And I think this year, especially last race, he kind of remembered like I'm the defending world champion. Like
yeah,
let me drive like it.
yeah,
Because he kind of really hasn't been doing much this season, but I think he's kind of dialed it in now. And third and fourth place are unfortunately on the downhill trajectory.
yeah. I think so. I think that that's true. The McLaren looks good. I think we see McLaren. I don't think that they jump Ferrari in the standings or anything like that. I
No.
think the car's too
Yeah.
good, but I think Lando can definitely make a comeback and would love to see that. So, all right, last prediction for me: two or more drivers will not have a seat next year. So
Easy.
they won't be in the sport. I'm not gonna say which two. Have to wait for Monday.
Yep.
But I think two or more. I think that every few years it's kind of like there's a separating the wheat from the tares type of thing in F1 where
Yeah.
you a bunch of drivers get cold. We see it all the time, and I think that year is coming up. I think a lot of drivers are going to lose their seat. F2 is absolutely stacked right now. Nikola
Yes.
Soloff eh, putting in,
Goat.
yeah, the greatest F2 season we've ever seen. Kamara also having a great season.
Yep.
Gabriel Mini, great season. Alex Dunn, great season. There's just tons of
Fornaroli.
good drivers. Do what?
Uh, Fornaroli, reserve
Yeah,
driver, but I think he deserves a spot.
yeah. Last year winning the F2 championship,
Yeah.
it still baffles me and every other spectator of the sport that winning F2 doesn't guarantee you a seat into F1. There's a
Yeah.
lot of F2 champions that just have never got their shot in F1, which is it's sad to see, but I think there's a few drivers that their time is coming up short.
Yep. I will say it's definitely not any of them in the top 10. Uh,
No,
make that point clear. I
yeah,
think well, they might not all be where they are, but they're not going anywhere.
yeah, I agree. I think that they're safe, but I think it's time.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to say it, I mean I'm not, the crypt keeper of the sport or anything like that, but I just think there's some drivers on the grid that they've had great careers. Maybe it's time to hang it up
Yeah.
and let
It's
some new
like
drivers in.
you're not getting any better.
No, no, yeah, definitely not getting any better. Alonso still thinks he's the greatest driver on the grid, and I fully believe that he actually thinks that. That's not even a joke in his mind. You give him the best car and he wins the championship handedly. But there are a few drivers who, you're looking at a decade long plus career, put in some solid performances, but you've got I think, some drivers in F2 that arguably could be next up. Not just,
Yeah.
not just, uh, you know, middle of the pack, but we're talking future world champions, future race winners, pole takers, those kind of things. I think
That
that
Audi seat's getting hot.
yeah, the Audi seat has
Uh,
become a hot prospect.
yep. Everybody wants a piece of that right
Yeah,
now, and I don't blame them.
yeah. Audi's done a lot better this year, so we'll see who ends up there. Again, Monday, uh, we'll have to see. I think we're going to disagree pretty heavily on who
Oh,
goes
for
where,
sure.
but but yeah.
I'm not
So
doubting that.
to wrap up season predictions, who do you think wins the world championship, and how do you see it playing out?
You already know my answer to
Yeah.
that.
Lewis Hamilton. You think Lewis
Yep.
wins it? All right.
Yep. Yep.
Play by
Yep. Yep.
play. How does that go?
All right. Here we go. He finishes on the podium in Zandvoort. He doesn't. I don't know if he wins, but he finishes on the podium.
Okay.
Kimmy finishes outside the podium.
Outside of the
He start.
podium.
He starts chipping away. He starts chipping away. Monza. That is our big moment. Lewis wins in Monza. Kimmy finishes outside the points,
Okay. And you have the
and
championship
that
lead.
and that puts him. I mean, right back in it.
Yeah. All right. I mean, it's not the craziest thing in the world. It's
No,
really
I
not.
mean, 50 points.
Yeah.
That's. I mean,
And we're expecting. I mean, it's not even conjecture. They are taking an engine penalty at some
yep.
point in the second half of this season. So that could
Maybe
be,
more than one.
yeah, possibly more than one. That's up to 25 points at most, a
Yeah.
penalty. So I think on my side, I'm gonna go Kimmy wins the championship. I think that um, I think he takes a few more wins this year. I'm gonna say four, maybe four more wins. Wins the championship by 30. Uh, I think the pack closes in on him, but he's able to hold on and
Four
take the
more
win.
wins.
Four more wins. I think so.
No.
No way.
I would count on McLaren drivers to take maybe four more wins.
Really?
I think at
Okay.
least one or
I mean,
two.
I think they win Zandvoort. That's my opinion. When we get to the
Yeah.
Zandvoort preview, definitely, I
Yeah.
think they're going to win Zandvoort. So we'll just
I
see.
mean, I think Lando wins, Lewis second,
Max third.
George. Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
we'll go with that.
All right. All right. Let's move on to the next section, and that is the news. Big news week.
Yep.
Big news week. We missed our last upload, which would have been Monday. It's not
Yep.
like you're getting ready to, move to college or
Yep.
anything like that. So,
About to have my next video fourth setup and four videos. So
yeah, yeah. Your own studio, though, now. That's what you can call it. It's not a dorm
that's
room, it's
true.
a studio. So,
True.
yeah. That's why we missed Monday, but it kind of gave us time for some of these stories to fully flesh out. And the biggest is really the Audi seat, and George Russell has just kind of appeared. George
Yeah.
Russell, the Audi's been rumored. What do you think about it? What's the odds that this is somewhat true, and what's the time frame on that? Is it next year? Is it 28, 29?
I think it's 28.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, it's hard to say that he shouldn't have a seat next year at Mercedes,
yeah,
but I see another guy sitting around number 6 in the rankings that there's a little bit of traction.
Yeah.
Um, I'll say that. Uh, if Max says he wants to come, Georgia's gone before he blinks. I mean, I don't even know how to say it. Like he's gone. He's more than gone.
Yeah. Yeah, and I
He's
think all
forgotten.
yeah, I think also, you know, I think if George doesn't do anything but win the championship next year, he's gone regardless. And I don't
Yep.
even know if that does it. The thing about the Audi seat is, from what I understand, it kind of started with Gunther Steiner, mentioning it on the Red Flag podcast, maybe, and it it sounds crazy, but then when you look at the summer break, we've seen Max on vacation with Toto, which is just odd. I mean,
Yep.
you don't see Carlos Sainz hanging out with Zach Brown or, Isaac Hadjar hanging out with Adrian Newey.
Yeah.
There are some other connections there. He races GT3 in a Mercedes, but I don't even
Total
think
Wolf don't
that.
really have a lot to do with that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that has anything to do. I think this is the courtship that we've been seeing
Yep.
to have a Michael Schumacher to Ferrari type of move. Maybe not as big as Lewis to Ferrari, but I think it's definitely a big move to go to Mercedes. So, uh, not even just that. This is the biggest thing to have come out of this. I'm going to go ahead and share this tab. This is Yahoo Sports. And Toto said some really interesting things about Kimmy and Max. He says that, we need to give Kimmy time to develop. Max is driving at his peak of his capabilities. They respect each other and come from different generations. Having both on the same team would create a completely different standing point. He said that Kimmy and Max are from different generations, but it's not like I'm afraid of having them on the same team.
Yep.
I had it worse with Rosberg and Hamilton. I would probably handle it better today. What do you make about that if you're George Russell?
They're kicking me out.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I could see why.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to just harp on the guy all the time, but I really can't stand him, so I really don't mind too much. Um, I mean, he's just underperformed every race this season, pretty much,
Yeah.
except for the first one. And he whines a lot, and I think he's lost the respect to Toto at this point. And I could see a change of direction.
Yeah. I'm honestly baffled by this for a couple of different reasons. Number one, Max Mercedes has been like kind of teased for 2 years now
Yeah,
to come out and say, "Oh no, I wouldn't." It would be pretty cool if Max and Kimmy were teammates. That'd be pretty sick. It's like
I said the same
that's
thing.
bad. Yeah, that's pretty bad. But on top of that, also, it's just like that's not how F1 team principals ever talk. Like anytime that they're asked about future driver swaps or anything like that, they always, always, always deny, 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 deny. So the fact that this is even like floating around in Toto's head, it definitely shows where that team is at, maybe with that seat.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I think we could easily get two more out of Max at that point.
Yeah,
At least two.
yeah. And I think it develops Kimmy into an absolute juggernaut of the sport. You put him beside Max. Max helps him with setup. Helps him with driving style. I think the only thing that could happen, and we haven't seen it this year with Isaac, is there a world in which being Max's teammate destroys Kimmy in the same way that it has Alex Albon, Pierre Gasly, Sergio Perez, or does he stand the pressure?
That's tough.
Yeah, there's no way to know.
Yeah, I mean obviously, but um, he might stand the pressure. Actually, I don't know that he would ever beat Max like in
Yeah,
that car, but I think he could hold his own. Um, I mean, I know we're comparing apples to oranges, saying that George Russell, uh, it's kind of the same way, sort
mm-hmm.
of. I mean, people were saying that George Russell was going to win the championship this year. He was the second best driver in F1, and then like Kimmy's just been blowing him out of the water. I mean, it wouldn't be that big of a big of a gap, but I mean, I think he could hold his own at least.
Yeah, I think so too. I think if I had to guess, I would say He holds his own. He's got the mental resilience,
Yeah,
and he has enough respect for Max to look up to him and it not, you know, make him crack.
yeah,
Uh, Other big story coming out of this past week is the Aston Martin engine, which is
yeah.
Honda, obviously. But you've kind of kept up with this a little bit. What are you hearing? What are you seeing on social media about the engine figures that they're coming out with?
I mean, it's pretty crazy, honestly. 6 tenths was projected for Zandvoort faster.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, that puts them in to the top six, maybe top
easily.
seven teams.
Yeah,
Um, and if it progresses as well as I think it will, which tends to not be the case with Aston Martin, um, I mean, we could see. I mean, I think we could easily see a top five finish in Monza. I mean, they're claiming a second a lap faster than they were previously. Um, I mean, that puts them on par with Ferrari and Mercedes.
yeah. Yeah, they're saying it started out with them saying 35 horsepower, like all the rumors were 35 horsepower, and then as
Yep.
the week went on, you heard 50. Oh, they're making 50 more horsepower, 50 more horsepower, and Honda addressed it, and I find it really interesting what they said about it. So let me flip on over to here. So they haven't had a filming day with this engine, which is
Yep.
obviously better, and what they said about it was
It's right
basically
there.
what do what
I think it was down there. Like the
Oh yeah,
which is
Honda's
believed.
planning to
Yeah.
deploy an upgraded power unit, which could yield as much as 30 brake horsepower at
It's a
Zandvoort.
lot.
That's a whole lot. And the comments that they've said about this are let's see. Oh my gosh. Well, what they've said about this is basically they asked one of the guys at Honda, and he said, "Well, it's not exactly that much."
Yeah.
He's like, I can tell you basically it's good, but it's not exactly that much. So I just find the wording that they had about that was interesting. He said, the engine's better, it's got more power, but I don't know if it's the 50 horsepower. Regardless, they're not saying that it's not better. They're not
Yeah.
saying it's a little upgrade or a little boost. It's a significant upgrade.
Yeah. I think even the 35 horsepower or 30, whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, that's about half a second, and that puts them on par with Alpine and Racing Bulls.
yeah, for
And
sure.
I mean, that's where they want to be. It's like that was the whole goal coming into the season. And I mean, I think we could easily see them push to be possibly ahead of Alpine at the end of the season because Alpine's getting a lot worse.
Yeah, I think that would be huge for them. The big thing about
Yeah.
this power unit upgrade also is just like the the more power that engine produces, the more electrical output that it generates when it's super
Yeah.
clipping, in the straights. So it's exponential. You gain 30 horsepower just in the ICE, but also on top of that, you're recovering more electrical energy. You're deploying more down the straights, and that's why like you said, you're gaining a second at Monza, which is
Yeah.
mostly straights. It would be huge for them to be able to do that,
I
and
mean, I'm here for it.
yeah, I would love to see him in the points. I think it gives him a good base to build off of to maybe push up and try to break through that ceiling of the midfield that they've always kind
Yeah.
of been in. So
Um, I mean, I don't think anything's stopping them necessarily from getting to be the, top five-ish team maybe
yeah,
for next year. I mean, we saw what Honda did, um, quite a few years ago, but
yeah,
it's still the same company.
yeah. Still the same resources. I think when
Yep.
you spend $100 billion or whatever it actually is on an F1 team, I would really hope that you're fighting for wins and podiums after a few years.
Yeah, it's like you're fighting for P10. It's not really
Yeah.
the goal here.
So hopefully they do it. Everything's sounding good out of this Honda team, out of the power unit. So hopefully we'll see at Zandvoort. I think going into Zandvoort, probably two of the biggest things to look out for are where does McLaren finish, where does Aston Martin finish. Those are two of
And
the
where does
big
Kimmy
unknowns.
start?
Yeah, where does Kimmy start? Do they take that engine or not? So that would be the two big things to look out
Yeah.
for. So all right. Let's move on to the next segment. We're going to look at the card corner. All right. So, a little technical difficulty there. No. So, Ryan, I'll go ahead and throw yours up here first.
All right.
Um, this is from the newest set,
Yep.
Lights Out. Pretty popular set. Tell me a little about this card.
Okay. Lights out. As you can see, driver number match.
Huge.
Out of 10. So it's the second lowest number match you could have. Um, I'm a big fan of the new Halo set that came out,
Yes.
especially with Lando's helmet. I mean, it's easily one of the cooler helmets on the grid. And I'm a big fan of Black to 10. And I think it just is a good card coming off of a big win. Promising things for the rest of the season. And obviously, I was speaking kind of highly of him earlier, which is unusual of me. And I just think it's a pretty cool card
Yeah, I agree.
for
I
a
think
big
this is a sick
collector.
card. I'm a big Lando fan.
Yep.
I think the Halo cards coming out of this last Lights Out set are probably the best card from the set. The
Yeah.
prices are still, I mean, $350 for this out of 10. I don't think it's terrible, but prices are still really high from this set. A lot of the
Yeah.
set hasn't made it to the US yet. I'll be interested to see
Yep.
what the prices do, but I think that they stay pretty high. This is the first time that we've got, a series in a set that's specifically around the Halo. It's called Halo. It's got
Yeah.
their helmets in it. I think it's got everything. The black out of 10, it's number match. I think if anyone picked this card up, it would be a really nice PC card. I would love to have this in my number match PC, but it's definitely a
But
super
yeah.
cool card.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yep. All right, move on over to my card. Uh, it is a 2021 Topps Chrome George Russell Gold Wave out of 50. If you're listening on podcast, it is a card that's horizontal, and you've got 5 or 6 other cars in the picture going down the straight at Bahrain. It's a really unique card. I don't know of another card from
Mm-mm.
Topps F1 Chrome that looks like this. You've got the black Mercedes cars, you've got the orange McLaren, the Renault, and then back there in the back, I can't quite tell maybe what that is. Is that a Haas or maybe a AlphaTauri or something? Not sure,
Yeah, it
but
looks to be a little bit blue, maybe,
yeah,
or white.
yeah, definitely probably not a Haas unless it's getting lapped. But it's just a really neat card. And at 39.99 or best offer, I think this is a steal. George
Yep.
Russell has kind of gotten some hate this year. This is a newer listing. I'm the only one watching it, so I think you could probably send in an offer, get it a little bit lower. And I mean, we're
Yeah.
talking about out of 50 here. This is a reasonably low numbered card. It's really cool.
What's the
I've never.
number?
Let's see. What is the number on this one? It's on the back. 22. So it's 22 out of
About how
50.
many DNFs he's had this season. Um, Looking pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. Your number match for George Russell's final point count whenever he goes to Audi.
Yep.
But it is a cool card. I think George Russell has a if you have a bunch of George Russell cards, he
Yeah.
has a really bad market. If you're looking to buy into a collection or start collecting, and you want to collect one of the people at the top of the field, is a really easy market to get into. $40
Yeah.
for an out of 50 is pretty cheap. So
Uh, Only complaint I have about this card is this was when he was standing in for Lewis Hamilton. So we unfortunately do
oh,
not have Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes in the
really?
picture. But
I
other
didn't
than
even think
that,
about that. That's a good catch. Yeah, and he almost won this race too. This would be a great one if you're a Russell collector. Yeah,
yep,
if you don't know what we're talking about, George Russell actually stood in for Hamilton at one point due to an illness, and he led the race for the majority of it and only lost because of a tire puncture, which is kind of crazy.
yep,
So, how far we've fallen. So, yeah, two really cool cards. I think the F1 card hobby is only going to go up. You look at Kimmy's card prices are just
yeah,
absurd. It's just been wild. PSA's graded more F1 cards last month than they have since 2023, I think. The market's just going crazy. It's a good market to get into. So, those are our two cards. We will move
yep.
on to this day in F1. All right. This episode will release tomorrow, which is Friday, August 7th. And a couple of interesting things. All right. 1988 Hungarian GP. Alan Prost and Ayrton Senna, the greatest team ever, uh,
Yep.
based on just pure driver talent. Senna actually defeated his teammate Alan Prost to continue his lead in the championship, strengthen that lead on the way to his first world title. Also, 1983 German GP. All right, at Hockenheim, we've been talking about Hockenheim
Yep.
coming back. Rene Arnoux led a Ferrari 1-2 ahead of his teammate Patrick Tambay. Alan Prost finished third, and he kept himself in the championship fight that year. So, um,
Yeah.
two interesting races, both have to do with the 80s. Nothing super notable recently, but yeah, that's kind of what's happened today. Are you more of an Alan Prost guy, or do you lean more towards Senna?
I mean, I kind of like Alan Prost.
Yeah, the professor.
Yeah, I just have a hard time with Senna because like he may be the most overrated F1 driver ever.
Ooh.
it
That's gonna break some hearts. Maybe.
is what it
Yeah.
is.
I would love to have someone on the podcast to like there was a live during
Yeah.
the late 80s, early 90s watching F1 to really talk about how good was he in the moment and how much of this is like the Michael Jackson syndrome where after he dies
Yeah.
he just becomes
Kobe kind of thing.
yeah, exactly, larger than life.
Yeah, putting
Uh
Kobe in top three conversations. Getting
I used to
ridiculous.
put I used to put Kobe top 3. I used to say he was number 2, but I was also just being a hater. I used to tell my friends that I thought Kyle Korver was better than Steph Curry just to rage bait him. So
Uh,
But but yeah, those are a couple of notable things that have happened in F1 history this year. Our next segment, we've got a little bit of a game to play.
okay, let me hold off on that for just a second. This
Okay.
this week is also the anniversary of Oscar Piastri's infamous tweet
Oh, it is. You're right. Let's
when
pull.
when Alpine said that they had retained Oscar Piastri as their driver, and Oscar said, "Every bit of that's a lie. I'm not racing for them."
Yeah, you're right. Let me share this really quick. Can I go?
Sunday, maybe.
It was August 2nd, I believe.
Okay, so that was about 5 days ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Here we go. So,
There it is.
if you're not familiar with the situation, Oscar Piastri was a Alpine junior driver. Um, Fernando Alonso ended up signing with Aston Martin, leaving them with a vacant spot. So they rushed to fill it with Oscar Piastri, who was their junior driver, and they posted that 2023 driver lineup confirmed: Esteban Ocon, Oscar Piastri, and Oscar Piastri, my man, tweeted and said, "I understand that without my agreement, Alpine have put out a press release late this afternoon that I'm driving for them next year. This is wrong, and I have not signed a contract with Alpine for 2023. I will not be driving for Alpine next year." Pretty crazy.
Pretty significant,
Yeah.
also.
Imagine if he would have went to Alpine. I mean, we may never. I mean, he may never have really. His career
Max would
would
have
look
won the
totally different.
championship last season,
Yep.
pretty much.
Yeah. Crazy. It's like
Yeah.
that meme about a butterfly flapping its wings on one side of the earth. If
Yep.
Oscar Piastri just wouldn't have sent out that tweet, F1 would have been totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty crazy. I didn't think about that. That was what 4 year anniversary of Oscar
Yeah.
Piastri's infamous tweet. So, all right, for our game, got a new game. It's called Ask Chat. So, I've got four F1 drivers here. Five F1 drivers here, all one-time world champions. Right? We've got to decide what we think chat is going to rank them in what order. So here are our five: Jensen Button, Nico Rosberg, Lando Norris, Damon Hill, and JV, Jack Villeneuve. I've already got the prompt put into chat, and this is what it says. It says, which of these F1 drivers are better purely off of talent in your opinion? So write down your answers, who you think chat's going to say. I'll write
All
mine
right.
down, and we'll see who's closest.
Let me get the notes app going.
Let's see. The way that we'll score this is basically just like an F1 race. So we'll do 25 points for P1 and so on. So gotta think about this. I think I've got mine whenever you're ready. You cooking over there?
Something.
All
All right.
right. So, Ryan, how did you order yours?
All right. Starting off strong, my goat. Jensen Button, number one.
Jensen Button number one. Okay,
Yep.
we're all already different. I took Nico Rosberg number one.
Wow.
Who'd you got number two?
I have Nico Rosberg, number two.
Okay, I have Jensen Button number two, so we just flip
Okay.
flopped. Number three, who'd you put for number three?
You go first.
I put Lando. I think it's gonna do Lando.
I said Damon Hill.
Damon Hill. Okay, that's
I, okay. I could be completely wrong, but I saw a post one time that he did motorcycle motorbike racing
okay.
before he started doing like F1 type stuff. So
Maybe it's gonna take that into account.
yeah,
All right, so you
if
have.
that's not true, then
Then we'll just see.
yeah,
Uh, you put Damon Hill third. I put Lando Norris third. That means I have Damon Hill fourth, and we both
yeah,
have JV fifth. So
yeah.
let's
That's
ask chat.
undisputed.
See what it says. All right. Oh my gosh, this is
Whoa!
terrible.
Oh my
Chad
God!
is so wrong. No. All right.
Uh,
Let's. This is ridiculous. We're way off.
don't use. You got to say don't use any of my bias.
Yeah. This is so I'm not logged in. This is not my chat, my personal little chat bot. It says Lando Norris number 1, Jensen Button number 2, Nico Rosberg number 3, JV number 4, Damon Hill number 5. Lando Norris, it says it's probably the fastest outright driver on this list. I completely disagree. Um,
That's
Jensen
from a
Button,
McLaren mega fan too.
yeah, like huge mega fan. You can't see it, but there's like literally a picture of Lando back
Yeah.
here. Uh, Jensen Button says he's one of the smoothest. Nico Rosberg, it doesn't really give anything. Damon Hill, it says that he benefited from driving a dominant Williams. That's kind of crazy. So,
Okay, now
at
now
go ahead.
ask chat why JV was good.
Let's see what it says. Sometimes underrated because people remember the second half of his career more than the first. He was immediately competitive. Uh,
And finished second in the teammate to who?
Damon Hill. Exactly. That doesn't make any sense.
He was a rookie, but Fernando Alonso finished second to Lewis Hamilton, so that doesn't mean anything.
Uh, basically, his it says his reputation suffered after he won his championship. Yeah, that's absolute malarkey. All right, let me scroll back up to this and let's see who got closer. So add up your points if you got number one right. Let's see. I definitely didn't get
I don't
Nico
have
number
any in the
one.
right spot.
I have one in the right spot, so I get 18
Then yeah,
points
I
for
guess you
Jensen.
I guess you got me then.
I think that's the only one I got right. I got 18 points. You got none. How could we have been so far off?
Some recency bias
I
in my
know.
opinion.
This makes some of the upcoming games that I have planned actually really interesting because I was kind of thinking that this was going to be pretty straightforward and uh, it was just going to guess what we guessed, but it'll make it pretty interesting. So uh, yeah, I think this has been a pretty good episode. A lot of fun, a lot of laughs,
Yeah.
figuring everything out. If you aren't watching on YouTube, watch us on YouTube. We're working on, obviously, hopefully, our audio's better this time around. I think the
Yep.
video's more pleasant. We're taking steps consistently to kind of improve this. So it's going
Yeah.
to be really really interesting to see where it goes, and yeah. So Ryan, do you have anything you want to say before we close out about the second half of the season?
We got a lot of exciting stuff coming.
Yeah.
We got a lot of good ideas. Going to teach you all a little bit about the history of F1, kind of how some of the cards work. Uh, Gonna learn a little bit about the markets of those because that's a pretty complicated thing to learn about, and some pretty exciting stuff in the works for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited about some of those episodes.
Yep.
Some people that I've talked to, want to hear more about F1's history and kind of understanding the sport. And on the sports card side, it can be really confusing to know what cards are worth. If you're in a Facebook group with cards, you get about 50 posts a day saying, "Hey, what's this card worth? Hey, what's this card worth?" So hopefully we can kind of go through, what the parallels are, what the numbers mean, the sets,
Yep.
ranking the sets. So hopefully we'll kind of do that. That'll be interesting. And then yeah, some F1 history stuff, which we're both absolute nerds for. Vintage
Yeah.
F1 is
Oh
is
yeah.
is where it's at. So that'll be pretty fun as well. But I'm gonna close this out. This has been the F1 Push Lap podcast with Ryan and Blaine, and we will see you Monday.